Howdy doody, ladies and gentlemen. What is happening, Adobe Live? Welcome back to another daily creative challenge with me, your host, Brandon Gross. Let's give it a clap up to Miss Fergie. In the previous segment, she does always an excellent job. And I want to say hello to you guys in the chat. We have Gareth, Kevin, Mezayu, what is happening, Fergie herself, and we have Sam and Megan. What's going on? Glad to have you guys here. As you guys know, today is, I got to do my math because I have no idea what day it is. We are on day number 6 when it comes to our daily creative challenge. So with that said, let's hop on in, talk about what we have for today, and also how long the challenge is for those of you who are new. So with that said, our challenge this time around is going all the way to August 20th. And by the way, if you are 100% new here, put one in the chat or just say hi, hello there. And a couple things here. 2 things, by the way. First off, if you want to join in on today's challenge, Sam or we have a link for you guys down in the description where you can download today's starter file, as well as a link to this page which has all of our challenges. So first thing you want to do, if you haven't already, is join our amazing Discord community where you have people like myself, Fergie, the Adobe fam, and our Adobe mentors to help you along the way in these challenges. We have all of our challenges all the way from our 6 days that have gone by so far, and today we are doing creative animations. We are designing mobile card components and then prototyping animated slime interactions. We have some very interesting things today. All right, so we are actually going to try to recreate. I was very much inspired by the Cuberto peeps, the agency, and creating this sort of slimatic movement in their prototype, and I was just like, let's see what we can do. So today we're gonna try to recreate this, and let's see what we got. All right, and by the way, if you at all, those of you on YouTube, if you want to join in the conversation of now, come hop over to Behance. Sam will be over there dropping you a link. So if you have clicked the starter link down below in the video description, download the XD file. You should see, not this is 100% new. This is something that I kind of developed today to help teach this a little bit easier. But you will see in your file this thing and a artboard to kind of play with if you decide to utilize it at all, because it has cards and you can do some fun things with it. But what I wanted to take a simpler approach today and just showcase to you guys how one might create the slime animation. And so I've put together just a tiny thing here where I can't make it any bigger, but you guys see just the repetitive push-pull slime animation. And so really what I'm really excited to see you guys do is be able to take this simple animation that I'm showing here. We're going to reverse engineer it today with the 20 minutes that we have, then hop into looking at some of the amazing work that you guys have done in the other challenges. Claps up to yourselves. And with that said, let's get going. And also feel free to ask any questions in the chat. All right. So simply, and now that I can take a couple breaths here, we did good 4-minute intro. We're gonna start off with, and if you're following along, you'll be able to apply what we do in this example to your design. So however you make it, whether you use the starter file or you just decide to do your own thing. So what we're gonna actually do here is I'm just going to make a square artboard. Not any specific screen size. I just want to show you guys something. And you guys will be able to pull this in any which way in any type of your projects. I just want you guys to learn this. All right, so what we're going to do first is we're going to draw 2 rectangles. And of course, we always want to get some radius in there. So I'm going to turn off my border here. I'm going to get like a purple here. I'm going to center it. And from here, what I'm going to go and do is I'm going to just duplicate it, hold Alt, pull it down. And maybe what we do here is maybe we pull this down. Kevin Klein says your tie is distracting, as it should be, but the design should also, it will get distracting. Just hold on tight. All right. So now that we have 2 cards, what we're gonna do is now we're gonna start pushing them together. So step 1, and I always love thinking Adobe, and whenever I'm doing animation, I always love to think about what I'm doing in terms of frames, especially if there's multiple artboards. So I go, if you guys are new to XD, this is how this whole animation, once it's playing, this is kind of how it's broken up, and then we'll do it together. So step 1, we have the 2, there's actually 3 elements. We have rectangle 1, rectangle 2, and we actually have a group of pillars here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And so what we're gonna do from here is we are going to do the same thing here. I'm just gonna create my pillars, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna make sure that these are all aligned in the center, if I can. I don't think, it doesn't look centered. Anyways, we're gonna distribute these evenly. We're gonna go ahead and use our alignment tools. And I'm just going to group these, so Control G. So I should have rectangle, I'm just gonna name this top. Guys, Fergie has really been, you know, she's been a very good role model for me. She's been teaching me to name my layers. All right, we're gonna name the top and bottom, and we have our slime here. If I can spell it. All right, so I'm gonna select all my pillars, turn off the border, and I'm just going to make sure we match the colors. So the first thing we're gonna do, now that we have all of our elements here, we wanna hide, I'm gonna shrink these down. We're gonna hide our slime element. And the first thing that we wanna do is, in our next artboard, is we want to move the artboards together. And then the next time when they try to pull away, we're gonna do another artboard for this. Yes, hashtag team name your layers, indeed. And so in this frame, or in this artboard, as I pull away, what we're gonna keep now is our slime. We're gonna keep that in between, and we can exaggerate however long, you know, how much we want the slime to actually slime. Now what we're gonna do from here is I'm actually gonna skip a step. And this is probably counterintuitive because when I was learning to do this, I was like, I don't even, a lot of this happens exactly like this. I see something on the internet and I'm literally like, I have no idea how I'm gonna do it, but we gonna try. Yes, moat avoid layer 1, layer 2, and layer 3. That's how we go down. Yes, we always name our layers a dongo. All right, so we have 3 layers. We have separated, together, separated again. Now I'm gonna duplicate this and kind of skip a step. I don't want to do this just yet. This is gonna be like our last step, and I'll explain why later. Our last step kind of looks like this. I'm gonna showcase, I'm gonna turn everything on so you guys can see this. So, actually, hold on one second. Oh, okay, that's what I did. All right, so I'm trying to this is actually very, trying to re-revert. I literally just did this 30 minutes ago and I'm just like, All right, so what we need to do and why I'm skipping this step, let me just at least talk about that. Because what we want to have happen is these rectangles, we're gonna end up turning into paths and we're gonna have to go and edit these. We're gonna have to manipulate them. So what we're gonna go and do first is we're gonna start with our end in mind. We're like, okay, how do we want our, how do we say this? How do we want our slime pieces to end up? And the answer to that question is invisible. We want it to look like they've thinned out, just like gum. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start here first, and we're gonna turn these into paths. We do that by just double clicking them. Actually, I don't even think it matters the order. Let's see. We're gonna try it out. We're gonna learn together, and we're gonna we're gonna figure out if it actually matters. We'll still be able to finish this. This is why I decided to do it in this manner, because there's no one right way. So I'm gonna double click here. How I turn this into a path is I actually just, when I double click the rectangle, it allows me to turn the rectangle into a path by putting points on it. And you'll see here in our layers panel, that rectangle actually turns into a path. And so I'm just gonna squeeze the points in that I've been using, and I'm just going to intersect the lines. So I'm gonna do the same thing this rectangle, double click, make my 2 points. Doesn't matter where I make them. I'm gonna bring them to the center. And before I bring them to the center, I'm just gonna double click them so that they actually curve. Boom, there we go. Do this one more time. Changing the spots. Double click, get some curvature in there. And I'm gonna do one more time. Double click, spot 1, spot 2. Guys, we don't know where Yoda is. I've been trying to find him all morning. Listen. All right, so we have our pinched pieces here. And so what we're gonna do is after we pinch, I'm actually, I don't think it actually matters which way we decide to do this. I thought when I was doing this, there was a certain way that you would have to do this, but not necessarily. All right, so I'm actually gonna delete this. I don't think we need that. So we have our slime is beginning to stretch. We then turned our rectangles to path. We're gonna have to turn these into paths in just a moment because they won't animate as rectangles. But now we need to have another artboard or frame of the animation where the slime actually disappears. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go into our new artboard and we're going to take our once edges of this rectangle and we're going to pull them in. 1, 2. And if you hold shift, you guys can see that there's an alignment tool helping me figure out where exactly everything vertical aligns. And it's still there. However, the width and the height, well, the height is, I don't know what the height is, but the width will end up being 0. So we're just gonna do that to all of our rectangles. We're gonna make it all a straight line so that they all disappear. So it looks like they've stretched and kind of snapped. Also, shout out to somebody who's already did this in the Daily Creative Challenge portion of our Discord. They did it early. They didn't even know that this was on the agenda, but they found a Cuberto or Cuberto. Who knows the name of that agency? Like how to pronounce it correctly. I think it's Cuberto, but they actually have if you're interested in how to do this in After Effects, they have a really good tutorial on it. And they actually shared that in our Discord. All right, so here is what we have. And now let's prototype this so you guys can see kind of where we're at. Because I know we've kind of gone a long way and you're like, all right, great, Brandon, you designed some stuff, but how'd it be working? And before we do that, so recap. We've changed all of these paths. Okay, these are no longer rectangles. Okay, they're paths. But the only thing here, and you will see this, these will not animate into these slime pieces because they're rectangles. So what we're going to do is we are going to actually have to name these. We're just going to do slime 1, slime 2, slime 3, slime 4. I'm going to do that over here as well. Slime 1, slime 2. We have to do this because XD is going to look for, hey, so you want to animate this, but I don't see the same layer name as the assets in the previous artboard. So we're just going to create it and it creates like a glitch. And if we really have time, actually we'll show you the glitch first and then we'll do the correct way. So I'm going to go ahead and prototype this. Boom. Select my artboard and the entire we hear you, Kevin. The entire animation is super simple. We're just going to do timed animation. So I'm just going to select my first artboard, pull it on over. We're going to do a time trigger. We're going to do 0 seconds, easing none, and we're going to leave the duration on 0.2. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to copy that exact same animation over across all the artboards. All right, now let's play this very quickly so you guys can see what it looks like. And let me see, I'm trying to remember here. We're just gonna play through it once. You guys are gonna see the glitch because of the rectangles. I wish there was a way. Let me see if I can do this. I'm duplicating this really quick because I just want it to play over and over again. Prototype. Let me see if this works. Highly doubt it will, but let's see. Yeah, you guys see how like things keep getting created and recreated. That's not necessarily what we want. And us seeing this rectangle, these rectangles like going down, there's a way to fix that. We'll talk about that towards the end. But let me fix that by just unplugging. Let's make it not cyclical. What I'm gonna do instead is I'm just gonna press the play button over and over again so we can see it. All right, so what we're gonna do is we just very quickly need to change the names of these rectangles, and that what I'm calling a glitch will go away. Slime, oh wait, let me just copy paste, there we go. Slime 1, slime 2. Fergie says set duration to 0, not 0.2 on the last artboard. All right, we'll try that. Thank you, Fergie. We'll see what happens. One, two, three, and let's see. So we're gonna go back here, boom, and we're gonna take this off the seconds. Let's see what we got. So let me take this off. Oops. Because I'm pretty sure that's the, all right. So playing this through will be fine. Oh, wait. Oh, you know what? Okay, this is the main step. Okay, because this one is tricky. I forgot. These are still rectangles. We did not turn them into paths yet. So what I have to do is I actually have to click into them, and those 2 dots that I made on all the other slime things, we actually need to make those too. I made this mistake earlier, and I was like, wait, why isn't it working? All right, so we made the dots that are comparable to what and how the slime needs to transform. So let's see. This should be fine now. There we go. All right, now let's go back to what Fergie has helped us with. We've turned off that duration. Very nice. Perfect. Look how beautiful. Look, that's called teamwork, ladies and gentlemen. It's the secret I just shared. That's awesome. Fergie, maybe you can enlighten us in the chat. Why does the 2, what happens if we move this back to 2.2? What was happening there? Oh, so you don't see the transition. It just immediately goes. It resets. That's why, right? I'm assuming. Because that 0.2 seconds, you get to see like you get to see, oh wait. I messed this up. 0.2. This needs to be the 0. There we go. All right, so there we go. We have the undulation. We have the jelly happening, and that's really it. We hit our 20 minutes, and Fergie did a absolutely, thank you for, I never would have thought that, because I actually did another step here where I duplicated our last artboard and just pushed everything down. So this is why I say, like, there's no, I literally just like turned the opacity of everything down and moved it into like the regular position so that I can pull this back to this beginning and nobody will see like the slime rectangles going back down. So now I know how to just use the duration, just zero it out, and nobody will see the frames. Mitchell says, ta-da! Yes. So now you guys, I'm super excited to see what you guys come up with in terms of how to utilize this slime technique. I'm excited. All right, so now with our couple minutes left, we have about 5 here. Let's dive into, first off, actually let me talk about this. To export, I know we have our XD or fam here, but for those of you who are new to the chat, and also, hello. Some people are pro and noobs. That's why I was looking at the, I'm learning live with you guys. Fergie was like, Brandon, just turned it to 0. We're good, fam. Just, it made my day easier. So even though if we know a little bit of the pie, because we are a collective, especially on our Discord, there's so many cool people doing interesting things. We all get to learn from one another. So just a quick recap for some of those who are new to what we're doing here in Daily Creative Challenge. To export anything that you have done, either this challenge or further, to export your artboards, if you want to for some reason showcase things as stills, you can select all of your artboards, Control E, and export as PNGs, PDF if you desire, JPEGs, and you just export it. Now, if you want to export your video, for example, this thing here, all you need to do is, if you're on a Mac, you just press this button and the world just like becomes your oyster, if that's even a saying. It automatically records your prototype, saves to your wherever you decide to save it. For desktop users, there is a built-in Windows G to record the prototype. I personally download my own screen recorder. It's called Screen Rec, and I just select the area in which I would like to record, press my little video, and it just records what is on the screen, and I download that to wherever I desire on my computer, and I put that into After Effects, whatever, to showcase my work. Yes, XD is quite interesting and playful. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. All right, but let's take a look at our amazing Discord. By the way, if you are all new to the fam, where we are submitting our challenges are both on Behance and Discord. If you are submitting your work through through Behance, make sure to use the tag XD Daily Challenge in your submissions or your project. All right, so from yesterday's challenge, from August 2nd, we had some awesomeness from Annie Ann. So yesterday was a loader animation. That's really cool. Love the loading. Very smooth. Now, there's been a lot of creative. I thought this was very creative. I'm not going to lie. So what they did, this was the mouse drag challenge. They utilized a mask to basically highlight the image that was behind the mask. So that's really cool. And then when they got it to a certain, yeah, so if you guys know that the websites where there's like, there's like your mouse becomes kind of like a finder, or there's some effect over your mouse, we could do some very interesting things there. And let me see. Let's see what we have here. From Sharath. Let's see what we got. Got some nice hover effects there, my good sir. Loading. Boom. I don't know what car that is, but I'm tempted to say Lamborghini, but you guys are going to scream at me in the chat. Anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it. Thank you so much for joining in on the Daily Creative Challenge for XD. If you guys want to do some more awesomeness, first off, don't forget to submit your challenges that have already been up this week and last week. Get on in, submit them to Discord and Behance. And we're going to do this same time, same place tomorrow. So we'll see you then. Thank you guys again, and I'll see you then. All right, guys, have a great day. Talk to you soon. Peace.